In the previous talks, we have discussed about the non-living elements, in which we have discussed physical and non-physical, both types of non-living elements. In the second lecture, we have covered some of the living beings, and especially those living beings who are liberated. And so far as the worldly living beings are concerned, we have discussed about their number of birthplaces, and also about some of the mobile living beings, immobile living beings like earthly bodies, and also the water bodies. Today we are going to discuss about the fire-bodied living beings. So we know that all the living beings are, especially the immobile living beings, are divided into two main categories. One is subtle and the other one is macro. So micro and macro. And as I have said, in the case of water-bodied living beings and also about the earth-bodied living beings, that they are very subtle and invisible. They are not of our use. They live their own life according to their own karmas. So far as the macro living beings are concerned, they are coming in our day-to-day use, and we are using those living beings for different purpose. So here you can see that fire is also identified in various forms. So the first form is called Ingal, and it is a kind of burning coals. Second is Jwala, so that is a kind of light coming out of a fire or some flame. So that is Jwala. And third is Murmur, so it is also a kind of fire particles which come out of any fiery bodies. Archi is a kind of a fire, and Arad is also kind of fire. And apart from this fire, there are other forms of fire in which we find that there is one fire which is known as Shuddha. It means fire of iron ball. There is Ulka fire, so it is coming from space. Vidyut, which we can say electricity, but that electricity which is produced in nature, especially whenever there is heavy rain, we find such kind of a light in the sky. So that kind of electricity is also recognized as living entity. Ashini, fire particles falling from a sky. Nirdhat, it is also a kind of electricity which falls from a sky. And there is another type of fire which is known as Sangharsh fire, and this fire is especially generated by rubbing two pieces of wood or stone or through spectrum or one kind of a jewel or diamond, you can say, which is known as Suryakant Mani. And there are many other different forms of fire which we use in our day-to-day life. So here we can see that all these fiery bodies or living beings are also divided into two categories. One is called incomplete and other one is called complete. So we know that what incomplete means. Incomplete means that our body has some systems inside. For example, digestive system, respiratory system, excretory system. So all these systems are necessary for some physical body to work in that particular form or in that particular environment in which he or she or someone is born. So until unless they complete those systems, they cannot start working. So that's why in that state they are known as incomplete, but as soon as they complete, they come under the category of complete. Now we are coming to the next immobile living being, who are recognized as air-bodied or airy living beings. It means air is also living, not that there are some living beings who are in the air. They are separate living beings. They come under the mobile living beings mostly, but air itself is a living entity, and it is one sensed living entity. It is also of two types, micro and macro. Micro is again invisible and out of reach for any other living beings. But macro, while air is coming in our contact. So whenever we walk, we feel the air or wind in the environment. So all types of wind or all types of air, so most of them are living entities. And it is said that the air is also having various forms, various names, various divisions. So here you can see that the air or the wind which is coming from eastern direction is known as Purvi air or wind. The wind which is coming from western direction, it is known as western air. The air which is coming from north direction, that is called Uttari, and the air which is coming from south direction, it is known as southern wind or air. And the wind which is coming from up directions, from above, then it is known as upper air, and the air which is coming from below, then it is known as adho air. Similarly, we find that there is the air which is coming in all other horizontal directions, then it is known as Tiryak. Vidisha means air of semi-directions, and intermint wind is called Vato Brahma, Brahm. So that is also a kind of air, wind of fastest speed, which is known as Vatotkalika. And Vat Mandalika is known as cyclic wind. Utkalika is known as wavy wind. Mandalika is known as cyclone. And Gunja Vayu, that is known as wind with sound. And there are certain other forms of air which are known as Janja Vayu, wind with rain. Samvartak, wind of sixth era, which is known as a doomsday in the Western culture. So in that time, what kind of wind flows or blows, that is known as Samvartak, and due to that there is heavy rain on the earth. Everywhere there is flood, and because of that, everything on the earth or the human civilization starts collapsing. So Ghanvat is a kind of thick air which is beneath the Netherlands. We know that according to Jainism, there are 7 Netherlands. Each land is having this kind of thick air below it. And there is Dhanvat, which is below the Ghanvat. And it is also very big in width and length, but it is also there below the Netherlands, each of the Netherlands. So this is called Dhanvat, which is a kind of thin air beneath the Ghanvat. Then there is Shuddha. It means a general wind, which we generally, whenever we go for walking, and a general wind which flows or blows, that is called as Shuddha, general wind, and all different other types of wind. In commentary literature of Zen tradition, we find so many explanations, descriptions about different types of wind. And if we compile all those references and write a book on the basis of them, then we can get the book in 500 just only on the nature of the wind. So you can see that how much is written about the wind in the ancient literature. And these all air-bodied living beings or airy living beings, they are again of 2 types, incomplete and complete, and you know about that, what is incomplete. Now we would see that the plants is the last category of the immobile living beings. So we are very much familiar with all types of vegetations, greeneries, or vegetables. So our plants, you can say. So Vanaspatika is the technical term for all the green vegetables or vegetations or plants, etc. They are also divided into two broader categories. One is micro and macro. So micro one is also recognized as Nigoda, because they are always in an infinite number in a body. So they are always Nigot. But in other categories, we find two types of plants. One is called Pratyek and another one is called Sadharan. So Pratyek means one soul in one body. So the main soul of that particular plant is only one. But there may be some other souls in the same body because they are dependent on that particular plant. So they may be there in that plant, but the main soul of that body is only one. So they come under this Pratyek category. So all the vegetables which are not root vegetables, they come under this Pratyek plants category. And the number of these kind of plants are found maximum, you can say it is 10,000. You can say 10,000 on the basis of their birthplaces or growth. But it is they may be of many other types. You can see here that all these types of birthplaces, they are counted as of 12 types, and those 12 types are Vriksha, Gucha, Gulma, Lata, Valli, Parvak, Trin, Valai, Harit, Aushadhi, Jalruha, and Kuhan. So some of the English words which I could find out, I have given here. Vriksha means a tree, Gucha means a bunch, Gulma means a shrub, Lata means a creeper, Valli means a creeper plant, Parvak means a dwarf, Trin means a grass, Valai is also a kind of a plant, Harit is also a kind of plant, Aushadhi, all types of herbs which are used as medicine, they are also a kind of plants. Jalruha, those plants which are growing into water, they are known as Jalruha, and Kuhan is envious plants. So in this way, you can find that there are 12 types of plants under the first category, which is known as Pratyek in the among the macro plant-bodied living beings. Now we would see that there in Sadharan, which is known as Nigoda in technical term, and in these Nigod Jivas are of 1400,000 in number on the basis of the birthplaces, and they are also of 10 types. So what are those 10 types of what we say it is macro, but still it is Nigod, and that's why they are recognized as Panak, Sheval, Tuhar, Pyaj, Aloo, Batata, Gajar, Mula, beet, and Surar. These all different types of root vegetables, they are considered as Sadharan plants. Sadharan plants, it means in this particular category, whatever plants are coming, they are having one infinite number of bodies in one body. So infinite number of living beings or souls or lives in one body. So one body is made by infinite number of living beings. While in Pratyek Vanaspati, in the first category, we have found that there is only one soul of one body. Here, one body and infinite number of souls. So this is the reason that we are trying to minimize violence in our dietary habits also, and we are trying to restrain ourselves from eating these root vegetables. The living beings who share one body, inhalation and exhalation, food, and also takes birth and die at the same time, they are recognized as Sadharan living beings or Nigodha Jivas. Now we would see that those vanaspatis which are recognized as different types of trees, these different trees are also having 10 types of living beings. So you can see here, if one tree is growing, then it is having its own root. So root is one part which is also living. The kanda part which comes out of root is also a living part. Skand, trunk part, is also living part. Branch which are coming out of the trunk, they are also living separate living parts. And prashakha, it means the sub branches which come out of branches, they are also living part. And you can see parvak, so something sprouts from those branches or sub branches. So the sprouts are also a kind of living beings, and leaves are also having their own separate life. And pushpa means the flowers are also having separate life. Fal, fruits, are also having seeds and skin, which are separate living beings. And beach, seed itself, is having separate life. So in this way, you can see that in one tree, there are so many other different living beings which are dependent on that particular tree. And this tree itself is coming out of one seed. But other living beings which are growing on that particular plant or tree, they are having different or separate their life. So whenever we are cutting any tree, we are not just killing one life of the tree, but we are killing so many other lives which are dependent on that tree. So that's why in the Shvekanik Sutra, Bhagavan Mahavir says at every step that you have to restrain yourself from the violence towards these immobile living beings, because you are not killing those living beings whom you are targeting, but you are killing so many other living beings who are dependent on these immobile living beings, whether it is earth, water, fire, air, or plants. So each seed, now we have to see that nowadays there is a modern trend of eating, that people are sprouting so many things, and they are thinking that it gives more energy, it is good for health. But we have to understand that whenever a seed is sprouting, at that moment, it has infinite number of souls. So if we are sprouting any kind of grains of things, then we are killing infinite number of lives. So it is not if it is not necessary for health purpose, then we should avoid, we should keep what we say restraint in using the sprouts. Now we would see that there is a lot of discussions about these very subtle living beings which are known as Nigodha, infinite number of souls or lives in one plant or one vegetation. So here you can see that these living beings are also recognized as a subtle and macro and micro. So micro is, again, I have already said that they are out of reach, they live their own life, and always the subtle micro vegetable living beings are always come under this category, while the macro ones which we are using in our day-to-day life as a food, we are using vegetables, we are using different types of plants, we are using different types of herbs, we are using different types of fruits. All these are the part of our diet or food. So, but we have to see that if we are using such kind of root vegetables which are having infinite number of souls in one body, so we should try to avoid them. So here it is said that sadharan or nigodha vegetables are meant to have infinite number of souls in one body. They all together make one body, and therefore they all inhale and exhale at a time. They all share same food and take it at a time. To explain the total number of Nigoth living beings, it is said that if each soul of Nigoth is put on one space point, then the total number would require infinite universe to accommodate, as said in this particular text. So you can see here that in one root vegetable, you can find such big number of souls. So what about all different root vegetables? How many souls they are having inside? So we have to control our what we say taste or interest in using all these root vegetables. Similarly, if each soul of Pratyek living beings is put on one space point, then the total number would require innumerable universe to accommodate, as said. So you can see here that what is the difference of the number of the what we say Pratyek Vanaspati and the Sadharan Vanaspati, the vegetables which is developed from one soul and with the support of one soul, and the vegetable which is developed with the support of infinite number of souls. So you can see here that what is the difference between the Pratyek Vanaspati and Sadharan Vanaspati. And this is the reason some Jain peoples, or you can say a very big number of Jain peoples, avoid root vegetables. They don't use them, and they take just a Pratyek Vanaspati and not Sadharan Vanaspati. Now we see that it is said that if there is one complete living being, with the support of that complete living being, there are innumerable incomplete living beings in the world. So incomplete living beings are innumerable in comparison to living beings, complete living beings. And they are always developed or grow with the support of some complete living beings. So nowadays we are hearing about the what we say virus, and it is said that the virus is also growing or living with the support of some complete bodies, like we human bodies or animal bodies or such kind of living beings. So they cannot live independent of some other living beings. So in that sense, here sometimes I think that should we take these viruses as incomplete living beings which are growing with the support of some living bodies. So now it has to be decided by the learned monks and acharyas that these viruses can be equated with these innumerable incomplete living beings which are growing with the support of complete living beings. Now we are coming to the what we say mobile living beings. We have discussed about immobile living beings who are one sensed only, but now we are coming to the living beings who are having 2 senses, 3 senses, 4 senses, or 5 senses. So we have seen that under the mobile living beings, there are 4 categories of living beings. One is called Dvindriyas, Trindriya, second is Trindriya, third is Chaturindriya, and fourth one is Panchendriya. And each of these what we say mobile living beings are also huge in their quantity and which we have already discussed. And here we can see that among the 5 sense living beings, there are 4 types of living beings who are recognized as hellish living beings, or animals and birds and insects who are having 5 senses. I think insects are not having such kind of 5 senses, but yes, animals and birds. And the human beings, they also come under the category of 5 sense living beings, and all the celestial living beings or deities, they come under the five-sensed living beings. So they are also incomplete and complete till they complete all the six major systems of body, and they are recognized as incomplete, and as soon as they complete, they come under the complete category. Now we would see that these mobile living beings are also divided into three categories depending on the process of taking birth. So here you can say opopathic. So here opopathic, it is A is missing here. So you can add AUPA. So opopathic. So it means, or opopathic is, you can say, but it is opopathic. Here you can say that these kind of living beings who are born not by the process of sexual intercourse, but it is they are taking birth in a particular place which is fixed for their birth, especially in the heaven and the hell. So those living beings who are taking birth in the heavens or in the form of deities, any kind of deities or hellish beings, they are taking birth in a particular place where they take the particular shape of body required according to the form of life. The second category, which which is known as Samurchim or Samurchanas, they are coming out of the conducive environment. Whenever they get conducive environment for taking birth, they are taking birth, and they are not coming from any sexual process. So they are known as asexual, one-sensed living beings, and they are maybe one-sensed, they may be two-sensed, they may be four-sensed, three-sensed, and four-sensed, and also five-sensed. So these living beings have no mind actually, they have no mental development. So far as the human beings and animal beings are concerned, they are coming through some sexual process. So they are known as Garbhash. And those who are coming out of this sexual process, they are also of three types depending on their form of birth or the yes. So one is called Jarayus, the other one is called Andaj, and the third one is called Potish. So the Jarayus means born with membrane, and Andaj means born as eggs, and Potish means born with open limbs. So we see that human child is taking birth with some membrane. It is covered by a membrane when it is taking birth, and after coming out of the body of mother, and the membrane is separated. Under all the birds, mostly they are coming out of some eggs. So their process of taking birth is the process of to be in the form of an egg. And next is Potish. All the animal beings, they are taking birth with open limbs. So in this way, you can see here that the birth process is also very different in all different types of sexual living beings. Here you can see there are certain living beings, they are also recognized as Samurchim, which is especially and these Samurchim living beings are also divided into three categories. One is called Rasaj, other one is called Sansvedaj, and third one is called Udbij. So Rasaj means beings generating in yogurt, etc. So in the milk or in the yogurt or in such kind of juices, whatever there are living beings or microbes or bacteria, you can say, they come under this research category. The germs which are coming out of or generating in some kind of sweat, then they are as Sansvedas, like Zoo and Katmal, all these, they come under this category. Zoo, leak, like that, okay? And Udbhij are those Samurchim living beings, which are asexual living beings, who are recognized as Patanga, Tiddi, etc., which come out of the earth. So they are also recognized as Samurchim. So these are all different types of other different types of asexual living beings. And all these living beings are categorized in both the ways, aparyapt, incomplete, and complete. Now we would see that there are 20 types of five-sensed animal beings. And those 20 types are divided into main three categories, or sometimes it is said that they are divided into 5 categories. So we can see here that the 3 main categories, one is Jalchar, other one is Thalchar, and third one is Khechar. So Jalchar means those living beings who are living into water or taking birth in water. Stalchar means those living animal beings who are terrestrial, who are taking birth on the land, and those living beings who are taking birth in the in the air. So all types of birds, they come under this particular category. And those are the terrestrial. They are again divided into 2 categories. One is called Chatushpad and other one is called Parisarpa. So Chatushpad means those who are having 4 legs. So you can see here all these living beings, the horse, the cow, the elephant, this lion, all are recognized as Chatushpad animals who are having 4 legs. And those who are the reptiles, they are again of 2 types. One is called Urparisarpa and the other one is called Bhujparisarpa. Urparisarpa means the reptiles which are moving on their with the support of their chest, and Bhujparisarpa are the reptiles which who are moving with the support of their arms. So in this way, these reptiles are also categorized into 2 categories. And the snake and such kind of other living beings, they are coming under the Urparisarpa because they are moving or walking with the support of their own chest, while the mouse, etc., these are walking on with the support of their arms. So they come under the second category, that is Bhujparisarpa. Now we can see that the Khechar, Jalchar, and all the different types of terrestrial living beings, 5-sensed animal beings and birds, they are again of 2 types. One is called Samurchim and another one is called Garbhaj. So Samurchim, as we have seen, that whenever the urine and other excretory things which are coming out of animal bodies, in those things, and some bacteria or germs take birth, and those bacteria or germs are recognized as Samurchim, and they can also be of 2 categories, Paryapt and Aparyapt. Similarly, these 5-sensed animal beings and birds, they are coming out of sexual process too, or through the womb of their parents. So they are also of 2 categories, incomplete and complete. So this is a very common category for all the living beings. Okay. Now we would see that human beings are also in a very big number. And as we know that according to Jain geography, the entire universe is divided into 3 parts: upper, lower, and middle. And in the middle also, we know that all the human beings are found in the middle universe, but the middle universe is also very vast. It is consisting of innumerable oceans and lakes. So you can see here that in the center of the middle universe, there is one island which is known as Jambu Dweep, and there is ocean around it. and that is known as Lavan Samudra. After this Lavan Samudra, there is again one island in the circular form, and that island is recognized as Dhataki Khand. And after this island, there is again one ocean, which is known as Kanodadi Samudra, and it is of double range in comparison to the Dhatki Khand. And there is again one island, which is also in the circular form. And this island is double in comparison to the Kanodadi ocean, but only in the half part of this island human beings are found, and not in the second half. So in this way, you can see that human beings are found in Jambu Island, in Dhatki Island, and also half of the Pushkar Island. So in 2.5 islands only the human beings can be seen, and these human beings are found in 15 types of karma bhumis, and 30 types of akarma bhumis, and 56 types of inter islands. So in this way, you can see here karma bhumi, akarma bhumi, and antardvip, and total number. Looking at all these different parts where the human beings are found, so the total number is 101. It means there are 101 types of human beings. And again, we know that human beings are of two types. So one is called Samurchim, as sexual, and Garbhaj means sexual. So it means these are 202 living beings when we consider this total number, and the incomplete ones die in incomplete state. The Samurchim die in incomplete state, while those which are coming out of sexual process, they may develop and they can be complete. So in this way, we find 303 types of human beings in total number. So this is the, and you can see that how many human beings are there on the earth. And now we would see that 303 types of human beings, which I have already explained, that where these human beings are found on the earth. So they are found in 2.5 islands, and the total parts where they are living on the earth, they are 101 types. And depending on these different areas, and the human beings are also recognized in 101 number. And since the human beings are both the types, are of both the types, one is asexual and sexual, so they become 202. And again, the sexual human beings can be of both the categories, incomplete, so they can be 303. This means that 303 types of human beings are on the earth. 15 types of human pertaining to karma bhumi. So I have said that human beings who live in 15 types of karma bhumis, 30 types of akarma bhumis, and 56 types of antardvip, it means inter islands. So here it is said that what are those karma bhumis, and what types of human beings are found there. So I'm not going into all these details. If somebody is interested, they can ask me. Otherwise, those who are familiar with Gujarati language, they can read the original text and can get all these details. But here it is given in the chart that what type of 15 types of human beings which are found especially in the 15 karma bhumis. And there you can see here 56 types of human beings which are especially found in the islands which are inside the Lavan Ocean. So you can see here the number, that what kind of living beings are found, and they are having different face, and they are having the face like animal beings, and their ears or their faces are looking like the animals. Though they are human beings, but they look very different from the human beings which we are familiar with. So you can see those some human beings are having just one thigh or one leg. Some are having the ears like the horse. Some are having the ears like the what we say circular mirror. Some are having the what we say face like the horse, and some are having the ears like the what we say elephant. So in this way you can see here different types of faces, different types of look, physical look they are having, those who are living especially in the islands inside the oceans. Now we would see that 49 types of heavenly beings, all the celestial beings are counted and recognized or identified with all clarity. So you can see here that all the deities are divided into 4 categories. One is called Bhavanpati, second is Ventar, third is Jyotish, and fourth is Vaimanik. So Bhavanpati are those deities who are living in the houses like us. So they are recognized as Bhavanpati, and they are of 10 types. Those spirits which are moving around in our part of universe, those are living what we say deities are recognized of 8 types, and like the ghost witches, this type of deities, they are recognized as Ventardeva. All the planetary bodies and their deities, they are recognized especially as Jyotishka Deva, astronomical gods. And now we would see that there are certain heavens which are higher, and the gods and goddesses are also of higher category. So they are the highest category of deities or gods or goddesses, you can say. And they are also divided into 2 categories. One is called Kalpopanna, and other one is called Kalpatit. Kalpopanna, it means that they have hierarchy, and there is some system in which someone is a superior and other one is under them as subordinate. So they are having such kind of a system and different duties, specialties, different positions. But so far as the Kalpatit deities are concerned, they are not having such kind of hierarchy, such kind of differences or discrimination in their status. They are of equal position, equal power. So these are different types of deities which are found in 26 types of higher heavens, and those are recognized as Vaimanik Deva. Now we would see that 563 types of worldly living beings. In total, all the including all the 1 sensed living beings to 5 sensed living beings. So in total, if you want to know that how this number is coming out, then you can see the chart that it is indicated that how many numbers of the living beings in each of the category. And when you come to the total number, then you will find that there are 563 types. So thank you very much. Today, I have finished the first chapter of Prakyapana Sutra, in which we have discussed about non-living and living entities in some detail. Though there is much more things which we can know about them, but in one talk or one day talk, we cannot finish all those certain discussions. So you can read from original text, and there are several other texts which have been written down on Jain biology, and they are having more detail or on different explanations in the light of science also. So we can see from there. So thank you very much for listening to me and coming. So if you have any question, you can ask me, or everything is clear, then okay.
Everything is clear.
Very clear. But one thing, Vandani, if we know just one for the Vayu, air being, and we study properly, so are they that detail we will find in where, Vandana? In this text only, or
Yeah, so we cannot be dependent on just a one textbook. We can, because every detail cannot be given in one text, because there are so many other things to discuss in that particular text. So there are certain references regarding the wind, and we have to go through all different and commentary literature, especially. In the scriptures, we cannot get all the details, but in the commentary literature, we get all different details and different aspects regarding that entity. So it is very easy. It is not very easy to find out all references together in a text, but yes, in different text, and that will take time to search out in which text or whatever is given.
certain categories, Vandana, is different names, like, you can't even certain things pronounce properly. So are they in Prakrit, or are they in English, or are they in translated the language which we lay people can understand?
Mostly right now, the comment, even the main scriptures have not yet been translated. Okay. What about the commentary literature? It is very vast. There are at least 7 to 10 types of commentaries on each of the sacred text.
Okay.
Okay, and that's why I'm preparing all of you by offering these courses, that you can see that how much we have with us, and there is a lot of work to be done. Until and unless we have good number of scholars who are well versed and well trained in language also, and also in the subject matter, this text cannot be presented, cannot be translated.
All the life, Vandana, I think Vanaspatika is the biggest life. That's how I read it.
Yes, it is. Because in Vanaspati, in Nigud, one can be there forever.
Yeah,
It is not, it is not necessary that all those who are in Nigud, they will come out and they will come to the higher stages. They will always be there. So they are recognized as Nitya Nigud. Nitya Nigud. Nitya Nigud. They will always be in Nigud state.
So what we have done so wrong to go to Nigud? Like what we should do?
So we can say that it is not just because of doing some wrong, but it is their what we say, destiny. It is their destiny. Okay, they are destined for that only.
Okay, but it's scary when you see the length of time they have to stay there. It is so scary, like, we don't want to go to Nigud. No way.
Yeah, so we should not think of that. We should not live that kind of life. We should be very much disciplined, restrained, and avoid violences, cruelty, malices, negativities, so that we should not go there. But yes, those who have already come out of that state and in higher stages, they can go there by their mistakes, but they cannot be there forever. Okay, they will again come out. But we should not go. We should not think of going to that state.
Yeah, because I never had potatoes and carrots, but now and then they use the starch on them, so it comes into my food unknowingly. I don't realize sometimes they use the potato starch and use the this one. So I was like, what should I eat? Sometimes, I'm so like not happy to have it, but I had it. Like just today, Vandani, I didn't realize breadcrumbs. It comes in the starch of potato starch they use, and I had it with the roti and sabji.
So
After eating, I'm reading.
If something is done by mistake, we have to regret for that. We have to realize for that and make atonement. Then we can come out of it.
Yeah, I'm not going to use it back again, but today I eat it when I didn't realize that it's.
Yeah, it happens by mistake. It happens with all of us. It is not you. Since there are so many different types of new products and ingredients are quite unknown or unfamiliar sometimes. And we, instead of reading, we couldn't come to know that what it is. So we eat and we commit such kind of mistakes. But
Nowadays,
as soon as we come to know that this is that,
I avoid it.
really grateful
Mhm.
that and realize that we should avoid it.
Yes. But today I did it on Monday.
Okay, so I think the lecture was okay.
Very nice.
It was not very much long.
No. But Vandami, I didn't got the second quiz. I didn't got it. I didn't got the.
It is because I could not submit, I could not post all these videos.
Okay, okay. So it's
Until
not me. I never get it. It's just not been posted.
Yes,
Okay.
until I post all the videos of the lectures, how
And then.
you can take the quiz.
Okay.
This is what I'm trying.
Okay. No, I thought I haven't got it. So it's not like me.
No. It is not your mistake. It is still not posted. Thank you for coming. And I
No,
have one more lecture which I have to complete for this week, especially when you are available today for taking another lecture.
Today, I don't mind if you want to do it after an hour. I will eat certain things and then I can sit back.
Okay,
again.
so that
I haven't got any patience today.
Okay, so that will be
Okay.
good for me. Right now it is 3:51,
Yeah.
and it can be around 5 p.m. Okay.
Mine is 8 o'clock only. So can we do on 10 o'clock?
Yes.
10
It is 10 o'clock.
Yeah, 10 o'clock.
It means it is 5 in your time, no? Right.
Mine will be 10.
You are
do it
on.
11.
Okay. So what is the Miami time?
Miami time is mine is to 9, 10, 11, 12. After 3, you can do it on 11. So I don't know the Miami time. I can.
Fine.
Okay, I will
5
see.
o'clock? 5 o'clock on them?
Yes, in my time.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Sahar time.
that will work.
Yeah. So 10